he has a legal team that can answer the question.
The only people trying to evade justice are Trump for his 91 charges.
Donald Trump calls the January 6 rioters hostages.
Tim Scott, who is recently engaged, also recently endorsed Donald Trump for president, despite that contradicting a lot of the things that he himself ran on in his campaign. He made an appearance on CNN where Dana Bash perfectly calls out this hypocrisy before getting Tim Scott to humiliate himself in just a wonderful line of questioning. Let's start here, where Dana Bash asks, "You said you support law and order. How do you support Trump when he tried to overturn a fair and free election?"
Well, he has a legal team that can answer the questions of the legal challenges that he faces. But what I can tell you is that when you look around the cities, when you grow up in poor communities like I did, and you watch the crime ravishing your communities, you ask yourself, what president has allowed that to happen? It's Joe Biden. When you have DAs around the country that says it's no longer a crime to steal $1,000 worth of goods, and those stores start closing in San Francisco and across the country, you ask yourself, what president allowed that lawless behavior to continue? That's Joe Biden. You ask yourself, who can restore the kind of law and order in our nation to allow it to go forward? That would be Donald Trump.
Now, he's of course talking about crime, which began to spike in 2020 due to the conditions of the pandemic while Trump was still president. And that did spill over to Biden's presidency, murder having spiked in unprecedented fashion before Trump left office, with red states who voted for Trump having a 44% higher murder rate than the blue states who voted for Joe Biden. But then it all began to fall at levels that nobody could have predicted under Joe Biden, going from 30% to 6% in his first year. And we've showed how this has continued to be so throughout his administration. So who do you think is the real problem?
But I do want to get your thoughts in a more fulsome way on Donald Trump, because your endorsement was a big deal and is a big deal. I just want to take one of the examples that I gave. Donald Trump calls the January 6 rioters hostages. You were at the Capitol that day. You said that you took off your jacket, you rolled up your sleeves, and you were prepared to defend yourself, quote, presumably until I died. Would you call the people who are now facing prosecution hostages?
I would say that every single person facing our justice system should have justice done. The facts and the evidence in each individual case matters. I have confidence that that process will play out.
This is a total non-answer, and it's one of the most annoying part of politics that people get away with doing this. It's what you'll get from every Republican. This is somebody who was scared on January 6th. He was there. He felt as if he might have to defend himself. He fled, and he can't even say, no, they weren't hostages. They clearly were acting with bad intentions, because now he's endorsed Trump. He's laid with the devil, and there's no return, especially not for your pride and self-dignity. The question was, do you agree or not? And he went on some monologue about justice. And if he's so enamored about justice anyway, he should like Biden. Murder saw record declines in 2023. Violent crime dropped. Property crime reached its lowest level in 60 years. By all metrics, justice is being served. And it's happening under Biden at a much higher rate than it ever did under Trump. The only people trying to evade justice are Trump for his 91 charges and the January 6ers. Kind of crazy that that's who you ended up endorsing, huh, Tim?